to you from my hotel room in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm here on a business conference and met a few people here, great people. Met a couple carnivores while I was here, and it was great hanging out with them and having great conversations. And just wanted to make this quick video to give you a quick update and maybe talk a little bit about the carnivore diet and what how to get started, maybe how I got started, and share a few things with you about that. Now, is the carnivore diet crazy? No, it's not. It's not crazy. A lot of people will think you're crazy, like the people at my 35th class reunion. I had some interesting conversations with some people there. They noticed that I had lost some weight, and a couple of them asked what I was doing. And I told them, kind of explained things. I'm only eating meat, and I've lost weight, and I feel really great. And that didn't really take as many people by surprise as the fact that I was 4 days into my fast, my extended fast, and I think that caught people by the most surprised. Was the fact that I hadn't eaten for 6 days. Now I ended up, if you see my last video, I was into my fast, and I ended up doing 8 days instead of 9. So I cut it 1 day short. I wanted to get a full day of eating, back to my normal 2 meals a day carnivore diet before making the trip, 700-800 miles from home. And I just didn't want to make sure I didn't have any, refeeding issues or anything, which I didn't. It wasn't an issue at all. Refeeding for me has never really been a problem. You just take it easy and take it slow, and you work in. And I fell right back into my diet without any issues at all. But a lot of people will think carnivore diet, when they hear carnivore diet, you only eat meat? Are you insane? That sounds completely crazy. And you know what? It's not crazy. It actually makes perfect sense. Especially if you're like me and you're a type 2 diabetic, struggle with high blood sugars. Well, how are you going to get your blood sugars down? Well, you can't keep eating sugar and taking drugs or insulin or whatever it is. I mean, you can do that, and that's a Band-Aid, but it's not a cure. It's not how you reverse it. It's not how you can put your type 2 diabetes behind you and move forward with your life and not have to worry about your blood sugar and all the horrible things that can happen to diabetics over the course of time and dealing with medical problems. But we don't need that. You don't need that in your life. So what's the best way to get started on the carnivore diet? Maybe you've already started. If you have a couple tips or tricks or whatever, please leave those in the comments. If you got started and didn't do well, or if you got started and just had a perfect experience, tell me about it down in the comments. But when people ask me, how do I get started on the carnivore diet, I always tell them the first thing you have to do is you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not going to eat crap anymore. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to steer my own ship, my own vehicle, insert whatever thing you want to do that you're going to take the wheel of, and you're gonna take control of your own life. You're a damn grown up, and you should know better. And it's okay. We all know better. We all knew better. Every time I shoved my face full of Doritos, I knew better, but I still did it anyway. But now, I've made the decision to not do that anymore. And I hope you make that decision too. So first thing, make up your mind to do it. And that's really, it can be a tough decision. And then executing that decision, it takes some effort. I'm not going to tell you it's super easy and it's just going to be this magical thing, because it's not. And there's going to be some time that you're going to need to adapt. There's going to be some changes in your body as your body kind of restores itself to its natural operation of eating meat and healthy fats. And you're going to go through a little bit of stuff, but it's okay. You're going to come out the other side just fine. So the second thing, start slow. Most people in this country are addicted to sugar, including me. I was definitely a sugar addict. You're going to have cravings, so start slow. If you're just eating the standard American crap diet, you're having fast food. I know what it's like. You're going to McDonald's to pick up food for the kids, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to eat that, but you end up ordering an extra small fry for yourself, and you down it before you get home and throw the wrapper away so nobody knew that you ate it. I know you do that. I do. But it's okay, because today's a whole new day, and you don't have to do that to yourself anymore. So start slow. You're going to have to break through your sugar addiction. And that's going to take a little bit of effort. You want to keep up on your electrolytes. You want to drink lots of water. And you want to start slow. I wouldn't jump in with 2 feet if you're eating, McDonald's and cookies and chips and pop and all the stuff. Going cold turkey and straight into the carnivore diet, you're going to have a tough time. You're going to go through sugar withdrawals. Most people will. I mean, everybody's a little different, but you're going to go through sugar withdrawals. Sometimes people even get the shakes. It's like withdrawing from an addictive substance. And sugar is an addictive substance. It's legal, but it's still an addictive substance. I think getting over sugar is probably equally as difficult as getting over nicotine or smoking cigarettes for a lot of people. Some people are going to break their sugar addiction and it's going to be easy. I hope that's you. But if it's not, you will get through it. And there's lots of resources here on YouTube, tons of videos of tons of great carnivores and keto experts out there. They'll give you all kinds of different tips and tricks. I would encourage you to educate yourself, watch lots of videos, and feel like you kind of know what you're doing when you get started. So don't jump in cold turkey. I would say give yourself at least a 2-week transition period where maybe, you start cutting out some, pasta dishes. Say for instance, you have meatloaf with mashed potatoes and corn for dinner. Maybe start off by getting rid of the corn and just have maybe a small thing of mashed potatoes or a small thing of corn. Maybe cut those carbs in half and then, just eat all the meat. Maybe eat a little more meat than you would normally eat and eat a little less carbs than you would normally eat. Maybe do that for, a few days and then cut one of them out and then cut another one of them out. And then next thing you know, you've got all your carbs cut out of your diet. Now I'm talking about transitioning to carnivore here. If you're transitioning to keto, then there's some vegetables and things that you can still leave into your diet, and that could be a strategy for you too. Maybe try keto first, where you're going to have vegetables on your plate, you're going to have meat on your plate. You can have some strawberries, blueberries, maybe a few nuts, maybe some cheese. And then you find out if the keto diet works for you. The keto diet can work wonders, especially if you're young and you're not, as metabolically sick as I was. I'm 53, type 2 diabetic. Blood sugar is pretty much out of control. But if you're young and you don't have those metabolic issues, keto may be all that you need. Cut those and just start cutting those carbohydrates down. And if you still don't feel good, cut them down some more. and then cut them down some more until you get to where you feel right. Everybody's different. Everybody's body operates and processes things just a little bit different. So be patient. Be patient with it. But the main thing is to start slow and to work your way into it. All right. Third thing, it probably kind of goes along. This is like the first one was 2A, and then this is like 2B. You got to get all the crap out of your house, out of your kitchen. You got to get rid of all the flour, all the pasta, all the bags of rice, all the hamburger helper meals. You got to get rid of all the rice-a-roni and the pasta-roni, and all those boxed dry carb goods. And basically, if it's something that comes in a box and has a barcode on it, it's garbage. It's got to go. It's not good for you. And that includes granola bars, and that includes barbecue sauces, and that includes, cereals, all the sugary cereals, and even, yes, the bran and high fiber cereals. Your body processes carbohydrates, and those turn into sugar, and it doesn't matter if it's a whole grain, healthy, cereal that's supposed to do magical things in your body. It's got to go too. It's all just crap. It's marketing crap to make you think that you're actually eating something healthy, and it is not as healthy as you think it is. So, vegetable oils. Got to get rid of all those vegetable oils: sunflower oil, peanut oil, soybean oil, all those oils that are extracted from seeds. They go through a chemical process. If you really want to look at something frightening, look at some videos about how they make vegetable oil and what margarine is made from. You got to get margarine out. Margarine's terrible. It's just oil and water whipped together with some butter flavoring in it to make it look like butter. So now, what do you want in your house? You've cleaned your house out. Now what? Now what the hell do I eat? Well, you go to the supermarket and you take all the money that you're going to spend on all that crap, and you're going to buy some steaks, ribeyes. Sirloins are okay. Sometimes people find those a little too lean, but it's one of those things you got to tweak. Get you some chicken thighs. Get you, a lot of times chicken, $1.99 a pound or cheaper. Chicken thighs, chicken dark meat, great. Chicken legs, chicken wings, all good stuff. I would stay away from chicken breast. It's a little too lean. You'd have to add a lot of fat to that. You want to eat, bacon and hamburger. There's so many things, and you can have shrimp and salmon. I would stick with. You could eat the regular farm-raised salmon. It's less bad than some of the other salmons. Personally, I like the fresh caught sockeye, Atlantic caught, fresh caught sockeye salmon. Try to have, a meal of that at least a couple times a month, just to, have something different. And you know how many different kinds of ways there are to make chicken and shrimp, and you just use your imagination. And again, there's tons of resources online, tons of videos you can go look at for all that stuff. Now, one of the best things about the carnivore diet and doing keto, is that the diet itself, other than having to buy the food for it, is free. There's no clubs to join. There's no dues to pay. There's none of that stuff. You just make up your own mind, and you vote with your dollars to vote yourself a better, healthier life, and you use that money more wisely, and you buy the things that are going to be good for you and help you and turn around type 2 diabetes, and probably fix a lot of other stuff in your life too. So, okay, now I'm eating meat. Now what? Okay, well, you're probably going to want to eat no more than 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then you'll find after you do that for a little while, You'll get up and you won't really be hungry. And if you're not hungry, don't eat. It's okay. We got plenty of reserves here in our rainy day fund. And you'll probably find that you'll operate just fine every day with not having any breakfast at all. I mean, why break your fast at breakfast? Eat a good meal for lunch, eat a good meal for dinner, and then don't eat anything until you get all the way back around. And that's called intermittent fasting. If you want to know more about intermittent fasting, check out the videos by Dr. Jason Fung. He'll tell you anything and everything you'd ever want to know about intermittent fasting. But I think you'll find as you get into eating keto or get into eating carnivore that those diets and intermittent fasting go together hand in hand. And now, and you're like, well, if I eat meat, it seems like that's not very diverse. There's not a lot of different things to eat. Oh yeah, there's a lot of different things to eat. I've been doing this for 5 months, and I'm not bored with anything that I eat, especially ribeye on the grill. I pull a ribeye off the grill and put some butter on that, and my seasonings that I make, which I'll do a video about the seasonings I like to use on my steaks. It's really good stuff. I never get tired of cutting into a ribeye. It's just now that I'm into it, into carnivore, I crave it. I can't wait to eat a really good ribeye. So let's see. There are almost countless benefits that you'll find that you'll get from carnivore, and I just encourage you to try. Encourage you to go out there and check out some other channels, educate yourself, and if you're having trouble losing weight, doing whatever it is that you do, give keto or carnivore a try. Try it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You know yourself, and if you know yourself, you know that you're probably bullheaded enough to do anything for at least 30 days. Why not give it a try? And if you're one of these people who, let's say you've been doing carnivore for a little bit and you're not losing the weight that you were expecting. If you check out the videos, the latest video by Carnivore Kip and Barbecue, Carnivore Kip, Barbecue, and Cast Iron, he just did a video about how he was in a stall on his carnivore journey. And I sent him a note encouraging him to try fasting. And there's a couple different kinds of fasting that you can do that may be able to break you through any kind of stalls that you're having. So let's see, what is our last thing we want to talk about? Well, how do we end our videos here at Hoosier Carnivore? We say, hey, who's your carnivore this time around? And for me, it's Dr. Ken Berry. I can't think of any single person that's really done more for the carnivore diet than Dr. Ken Berry. He's got hundreds of videos. He's an actual practicing doctor who encourages us to eat the proper human diet. And I kind of call that myself, I call it kind of the proper human way of life. Just going to add a little bit on to what Dr. Berry says. And the proper human way of life includes, of course, the proper human diet. And if you want to know more about the proper human diet, definitely go check out Dr. Ken Berry's videos. The man's a genius, and I'm sure he'll inspire you. If you're having questions, he'll inspire you and encourage you to give the carnivore diet a try. But the reason I say proper human way of life is go back to that carnivore, keto, and fasting combination. You know, humans were meant to feast and fast. That's why we can put on fat. That's why we have this rainy day fund. And if you never use your rainy day fund, then, you know, you're going to become overweight, which is about 70% of the people in our country are overweight or obese or morbidly obese. So, you know, don't think of it as like a carnivore diet. Think of it more as the proper human way of life, which includes the proper human diet, and it includes some fasting. So if you're currently eating 3 meals a day, try going to 2 meals a day. Do an 18-6 fasting regimen. So you eat at noon, you eat at 6 o'clock. That's a 6-hour eating window, and then you don't eat again until the next day, until the next time around. And I think you'll find that will probably work for you. And if it's not working for you, tighten it up a little more. Go 20 hours and 4, 22 and 2, 21 and 1, or just eat one time. Or try alternate day fasting, where you go 36 hours around, or 48 hours around. Or maybe, you know, if you've been into this carnivore journey a while, like Kip has, you know, he's been doing this for several months and lost almost 100 pounds. Maybe try doing an extended fast for 3 days and see if that will kick your weight loss back into gear. I can almost guarantee it will. And you'll actually feel good, and it'll be a good experience for you. But Hoosier Carnivore this time around, Dr. Ken Berry. Also check out his wife's channel, Nisha. You know, you can't miss her. She's the only Nisha on YouTube. And that's it for now. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks a lot.